Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
87454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. The Owl House, Season 2, Episode 8, Knock Knock on Hooty's Door. And it's not a good episode because the storyline doesn't move anywhere. It's just background stuff. Again, Ida is the best part of the whole entire show, best part of the episode, because hers is actually like interesting and nuanced, and there's still mysteries, and her character grows. King, this episode's broken up into 3 stories that's all evolved around Hooty, so it's like Tales of Ba Sing Se, but stupid. It's odd that they decided, because the Ida storyline could have just been a whole nother episode 100% dedicated to Ida. The same problem where she's stressing out, she needs to get some sleep, he puts her to sleep with a magic spell, blah, 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 and she's able to come out of it accepting herself. Should have been the whole entire episode. King's, they should have really done King and Luz's storyline should have been an A-pot, B-pot episode separately. Then Ida should have just had one all to herself. But it's just, I don't know. King's okay. It's just I don't know where his storyline is going. Yeah, you want to meet your dad and all that stuff, but what does that even mean for everybody else? Not saying that your issues aren't important, but are they? Is it important considering how Bellows wants to do this big thing where he may or may not be killing witches and absorbing their powers? Luz needs to get home and I want to meet my dad. I mean, I don't know. But we jump in and it's Hooty. I am hit and miss on Hooty. I like him and I don't like him. I love him and I hate him. This episode, I kind of hate him a little bit because the overreactions are a little too much. He's typing a letter, which is hilarious how he types. He just like smashes his face into the typewriter. And at first I didn't even realize that's what he was doing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a typewriter. It's like a monster typewriter. But I guess he's writing to Lilith. And I do like how, they write back and forth. They're still like pen pals. And I miss her voice. And I heard her voice. I think, oh yeah, Lilith, she's so cool. I like her. And talking about how he feels useless and he doesn't really have anything to do and he has no responsibilities. But she's like, dude, you're the house. You protect everyone. You provide a roof for everyone and a place to stay warm. And you're good. And he's a really good security system. Remember? And he beat the crap out of her and all her little lackeys. So he does have a place. I just feel like he does feel a little left out because people go on adventures and he can't go along too. So he's like, yeah, I'll know what I'll do. I'll help everyone. And everyone's stuck on their own little issues and being kind of, this whole opener part is really stupid because I'm not saying they're acting out of character, but no one's being aware of other people. They're just like, everyone's like, me. So Hooty wants to help everyone. I guess King's voice is cracking because he's becoming a little man. So he's going to go through puberty. Okay. Ida is trying to figure out what Bells is doing and she has no powers. So she's trying to figure out how to make her powers go. But we saw that her music power still works. And she can still use the sigils, right? So she's trying to like study all that. So she's like forcing herself to stay awake. But then Hooty's like, hey, when you stress out like this, the beast comes out, like the giant owl monster version of herself. But she's like, oh, don't worry, I can handle it. Of course, she's totally stressed out. Then Luz is trying to get the little rat to talk, the Echo Mouse. Seeing Luz act this way, it just feels so out of place because she was perfectly fine being around Amity this whole time, and now she's like super blushy face all the time. It's just weird. It seems kind of backwards, right? She seemed more comfortable with her earlier, but now she's not comfortable with her. I don't know, because she's like, if you can't tell me how to, everyone's upsetting the mouse, and it won't say it's magical things, so I can watch the projections how to get the door to work. Or not, or maybe if you can't help me with that, you can help me how to ask out Amity. And then she gets all blushy faced. Then just ask her. I don't know what to say. It's not that hard. I guess it's different for everybody, but it just seems so low priority because if this was just a regular show and she just wanted it, she's going to school and she's not getting along with people. There's a girl that she likes, wants to ask her out. Okay, then that can happen. But there's so much more important things happening, especially they're just kids. They're like, what, 15? I know when you're 15, everything that happens to you is the absolute world. But how many people are still with the first person they ever asked out? Honestly, that just doesn't happen. So I don't really see this relationship ever actually going anywhere, because not only because they're just 15-year-old kids, they're Luz's situation. It just seems like, I don't know. I think she's putting way too much thought into this and not enough thought into getting home and maybe Ida and them and the Bellows killing people. I think that's way more important than you liking a girl. I don't know, whatever. But so Hooty took that letter from Lilith thinking, oh, she wants me to help people. But she did not say that. First person she's going to help is going to be King. King's trying to figure out who he is or what kind of monster he is. So kind of whatever demon that he is. And Hooty's like, I'm a demon and I'm gonna show you, who you are. He eats him, and then remember in the last episode, I thought, does Hooty go to the bathroom? Well, obviously he does. He poops him out. You don't see him poop him out, but you see him come out of the poop pellet thing, because he even says, like, oh, did you pellet me? Which means he crapped him out. Gross. But I guess he has a whole thing set up like a biology class. And of course it's super embarrassing. I don't want you talking about, you have hair where there was no hair before. Then he's like, trying to teach him about all the different kinds of demons, which is this is like a fun way of teaching the viewer about the world. It's a very broad topic. There's 3 types of demons. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Like bug worm demons, which Hooty's a worm demon, I suppose. Then there's bipeds, which is super stupid. That would encompass so many different kinds of demons. It's unbelievable. Like, that is a wide thing. And then there's beasts. I don't know what separates a beast and a biped. Can you be both? Like, if you're a big giant monster that walks on 2 feet, are you just a biped or are you a beast? I don't know. I look at King, I think beast. He looks like a dog. He has a tail and everything. So whatever. So it was like, but we can't, we have to make sure which one's your which. So are you a worm? And we're gonna figure this out by dancing. This is stupid. This a lot of this is really dumb. It's like, bugs have famous for their dancing. So you see these 2 little bugs doing a little dance, and Hooty's like, oh, it's so beautiful. And then King's dressed like a buffoon. Do dance moves for me. Then I guess he said something really nasty, like, oh, don't talk about my mom like that. Which, would that be Ida? So then he's like, oh, you're definitely not a worm because your dancing sucks. Let's see if you're a biped or you're obviously walking on 2 feet. He can run. We've seen him run on all 4s, but he usually is on 2s. Then like, oh, but I guess bipeds, they're demons, but they also have magical glands, that gland so they can actually cast spells and stuff. So wouldn't it make more sense to have him cast the spell? Anyways, then we're gonna have a duel. So it's what's her face, like the one with the big nose, the one who has a funny voice. Like, oh, we're gonna have a little duel. So King's like, yeah, let's have a throwdown. But she has like powerful, like not really powerful, but it's fire magic. Just totally KOs King, and she one shots him. Well, I guess you can't have magic. He could have shown that without fighting. Then let's see what kind of beast you are, but we do that with the blood test. So they pull out a big old giant syringe, which is actually almost as big as King. So if they drew that much blood, it would kill him. So like, okay, we got the blood test in, and congratulations, you're you. And it's like that stupid, oh, love yourself kind of message. And then I like how King's like, what's that even mean? It's like, oh, the tests were inconclusive. So either Hooty doesn't know what he's doing, or King is a special kind of demon, that maybe some ancient demon that has been around a long time. I'm assuming he's a mix between a beast and a biped. I don't know. But King lays it out pretty good here. He's like, I don't need you to tell me to love myself. That's just stupid. I want to know who I am and where I'm coming from. And, my dad, no one's answering my video. No one sent me any emails, nothing. My dad, maybe he didn't watch. Maybe he's gone. And, he's getting all upset. And Hooty's like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't make you mad. He's like, I am mad. I'm mad at him. I'm mad at him leaving me. Like, there you go. That was where you needed to go. This was way more helpful than that other crap you're trying to do. And then he yells. And I thought this was a magic ring.
He left me alone.
Like when we cast the spells, the circles. But I guess he has yelling powers. Okay. I honestly thought in the very beginning of the series that King would like turn into a big beast because he had all those stories about he was the king of the monsters or whatever. But what he just yelling powers, I guess it's better than nothing, but it's like, oh wow. But then King's like, oh wow, I did that. So he's kind of like, oh, that's super cool. But we see Hooty's all upset. I didn't help. I did. It was ruin everything. And he runs off. But King's like, whoa, wait up. Like, you did kind of help me in a weird way. But Hooty takes off. Then we get to Ida, and Ida's trying to figure out what to do. I like these paintings in the background, like real paintings. Then I thought this was first it started out really nice. Hooty left some cookies and milk for Ida, like she's like some type of witchy Santa Claus. Here, these are for you. And he's like, oh wow, these are actually really super good. But there's like sleep potion in it. I'm like, oh, he's trying to get her some rest. Don't drug your roommates. The first rule of a roommate, you don't drug each other. Then she's like, oh no, you dummy. Not only does this make me fall asleep, it's going to make my dreams more crazy and vivid. And every time I dream of the owl monster thing, and I don't want that. But she already passed out, which I thought that was really good. It's a seamless transition because you don't even know she fell asleep. Then she's like, oh crap, I'm in here. But she realizes, she's like, hey, you know what? This stupid curse, this stupid owl monster thing, you ruined everything. And this time I'm going to whoop your butt. Like, she's going to go after him. But it's pulling her through different phases of her life. She's a child. She's like, oh, wow. Well, this is interesting. She starts to walk downstairs. Her mom's like, oh, it's dinner time. And then we can kind of see how Lilith's like, hey, mom, look at this napkin I made. Like, she made like an origami napkin. And the mom's like, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, sure thing. The mom is kind of was not really paying attention to her. We only see this one scene of them together as kids. But I think we can extrapolate that the mom really didn't. Lilith was always trying to impress her mom, and her mom never really like acknowledged that. Then Ida's like, oh yeah, I know how this all ends, blah, 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 mom, I don't care about dinner. Then we see her dad. And like, oh, cool, he's the one with red hair. And he has a big beard and everything. He looks like a regular adventure guy. Maybe he's a captain on a merchant ship. Like, just in my mind, that's what I see when I see him. Like, oh, he looks kind of like, the shopkeep you see in Skyrim. But she goes and hugs her dad. She's like, oh my God, I miss you so much. And he's like, what are you talking about, honey? I've only been gone for 1 hour. But since I'm leaving, I'm going to have a little surprise. I'm going to go out in style. He does like I'm going to say not like a firework. It gets kind of like a firework. And that activates her when she's got the curse. It activated her owl powers. And she attacked her father. Like, she freaking scratched his eye. Like, scratched his eye out. You can actually see a little bit of the blood. And it's like, holy crap, she attacked her dad. And that's when she's like, no, you ruined everything. And yeah, the owl kind of really effed up right there. And she, she was a kid. She had no control over it. So she still feels that fault. See, I wouldn't blame her for that because she doesn't have control of it. And it's not like she said, oh, Dad, time to get you. I'm going to show you what's what. It wasn't that kind of situation. I think if I was going to make this scene, make it to where her and the dad had a fight and she got angry and then she turned into the monster and hurt her dad. See, in this version of it, the way it's in the show, she's 100% innocent in this. Like, she didn't do anything. Not saying you can't feel bad that you hurt your dad, but you really, really weren't at fault here. Then we get a little jump forward and we see her and Rain. I guess they were dating. And we see Rain and he's like, and she's going to, because this is in her dream, she's going to punch the owl, but it goes right to the next dream. And then Rain's like, whoa, what are you doing? He's like, oh no, it's nothing. It's fine. It's like, I need to talk to you about something. And she's like, oh crap. I hate this part. And that's when he's like, hey, I'm going to join the Emperor's Coven. We got to break up. That's the other people. You're too distant from me. You won't let me help you with your curse. You won't share anything with me. You're just distant. And, I'm going to go my separate way. And then she starts to kind of turn into the owl again. And he's like, let me help you. And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. But older Ida, seeing her younger self, she's like, let him help you. Stop pushing people away. See, these are things you learn only as you get older. But when you're young, you're an idiot. And she's trying to talk to her old self, but of course you can't change the past. The past is what happened. Then we see her kind of fight off the owl in her mind, but then we kind of see the red and the gray hair kind of mix. She's starting to like accept, not necessarily accept herself, but realizing this part of herself is something that it happened. You have to accept it, but you have to, Ida's actually trying to do better. She kind of chases it off, and then she becomes the big version of it where she still kind of had her face, and she's flying around and she got captured. And I don't know what this is. Who's this? This moon person? Is this a reference to another character? I thought this was when she got captured. Remember when Lilith caught her and threw her in the prison? This must be before that. So there was something that happened. Who's this moon crescent person? Who knows? Very interesting. We get no answers. She flies away, and like Icarus, her wings burn up and she crashes into the sea. The symbolism, because dreams are all about symbols, right? So what is this? She flew too high, her wings burned, and she crashes. Well, Icarus, traditionally, he made his wings out of wax, and he was warned not to fly too high because the sun would melt his wings, and then he did. But there's the full story of that is when Icarus flew up that high, he actually saw beauty that no other human ever has seen. So while he did crash to the ground and burn and die in the ocean, he actually got to experience something no one else ever got to experience. I don't think people realize that part of the story. They always is a cautionary tale. Oh, don't fly too close to the sun, you'll burn up. So is there significance with the story of Icarus and this? I mean, what's the connection? Ida flew too close to the sun? I don't know. Is she too cocky? Was that? I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. What do you think that's a reference to? Then she hits the water and becomes a letter, and it goes black and white. Getting avant-garde here. The letter floats up on the shore. A fisherman guy, or I want to say like a beach person with like a thing. He finds it, sees the owl seal on it. First he was smiling, then he saw the seal of the owl house thing, or the owl family, the Cawthorn family maybe. Then he frowns and throws it in a little sack of garbage. Walks off. I have no clue what that's supposed to be a reference to or alluding to. Again, if any of these things come out in future episodes, don't spoil me. But what is it? What could this possibly mean? Is this person important to Ida? Is this just some, I don't know. This got to mean something, right? Is that the spell? Is that the actual curse to what it was written on there? Then Ida's sitting on the beach, and we see the owl monster like is in the water. Starts thrashing around, tries to fly away. It's tied down and crashes back to the water, and we see the red string. And that's the red string, the red thread of fate, where you're connected. There's always a red string that connects us to everyone, but there's certain ones that connect us together, like bind us. And Ida is bound to this curse, and she's like, wait a second. She sees that the owl's trying to get away. The owl wants nothing to do with Ida, and Ida wants nothing to do with the owl, but they are stuck together. So that's why they're always vying for supremacy. It crashes to the water again, and it's all tired and tuckered out. Then Ida's like, hey, you know what? I don't really like you, and I know you don't like me, but we're together, and let's try to make the best of it. And she kind of grabs him and kind of pets him, and we see that the potion washes up ashore. So those potions she was taking, is this a metaphor for take your psych meds? Accept that you do have an issue, that you do have a problem, and your medicine helps. And you have to accept all parts of yourself, or you will always be in conflict. You will always have nightmares. You will always have this thing inside you that you're fighting. Not saying, like, if you have a schizophrenic problem, not saying, oh, that's just who I am and I'm going to act this way. But realizing that it is something that you do have to, that is part of you. And that's what this whole, the owl, she accepting it. And she gives some of the potion. She doesn't drink it. She gives it to the owl, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that idea. Then I like how it licks her hand. Yeah. It's like sandpaper. Then it like snuggles over there. Oh, when did you get so sweet? Then like the sky turns into color again, and Ida's like, wow, I've never had a dream this beautiful. I mean, look at that. Look at this. Look at this. It is so, it could be like in an anime. Like that's the ending of an anime and the credits just roll. You're like, what the hell just happened? But Ida's like, oh man, did I turn back into the owl? And then we see her eyes are all black. She became a balance. So she has like her owl monster form mixed with her human form. So she's like an heartbeat thing. What's her face from Yu-Gi-Oh? She's got to get her in her deck now. So she's like Harpy Lady. Kind of like Devilman. You said anime Devilman. She could totally be in that now. Imagine this with red hair. Oh my God. But she's like, oh wow, this is pretty awesome. And then Hooty's like, oh no, I made it worse. And she's like, no, Hooty, calm down. It's fine. And then Hooty takes off because Hooty thinks he ruined everything. But Ida's like, hey, mommy like. Because now she has an ability. Not necessarily she doesn't have her magic back, but she has the strength and she can fly and she looks badass. So super cool. Then we get to the Luz storyline, which is the least consequential of the whole entire thing. Again, if this, just like in She-Ra, just make a high school drama. Like, why make a fantasy thing and then just throwing in this weird, like, shipping stuff? Like, this would work perfectly fine in a normal high school setting. But it kind of cuts back in time where she was like, oh, she said the same thing she said at the beginning of the episode, where she's like, oh, unless you can tell me how to ask out Amity, and she runs off. Okay. She sits down. She's like, oh, come on, little mouse. If you're not going to tell me how to get home, then you have to tell me. And then this line, Luz is a cringy girl. That's just who she is. She's goofy. She's weird. She got mega cringe. The girl's got level 10 cringe. She says this, which Luz has never really, like, from Amity, liked Luz physically. Like, she liked the way she looked. She's shown that in the past. Then you get this kind of line. I don't know. She says, and I'll play it.
Maybe you can tell me how to ask out a cotton candy-haired goddess?
A cotton candy-haired goddess. Ooh, that I got secondhand cringe from that. That's awful. A goddess. She's 15. If they were older and Amity was just like this complete utter knockout of a woman, like, oh man, she's like a goddess. Really? Goddess? That's just weird. I don't know. But then, of course, Luz is like, oh no, I want to ask her out in a really cool way, not in a lame way. Then Hooty's like, oh, I knew that she wanted to ask her out because I got like, I can in tune to people. But he was there listening the whole time. So he writes a little note for her to come down to the basement. And then Luz is like, oh, geez, Hooty, don't screw this up for me. Like, don't interfere. But she's going to go down there and see what he wants. She thinks she sees Amity because she sees a mop. Because, a goddess looks like a mop. Oh, God, it's such a stupid line. Then she's like, oh, no. But then I guess Hooty did eat her and poop her out. She's like, oh, my God, what am I doing here? Luz, what's going on? I think Hooty brought me here. And she's like, oh, no, it's Hooty's just acting crazy. And, I'm here. And then they get the whole, like, they don't know how to talk to each other. Even though they already were really good. They were already really good friends before. I don't know. They kind of went backwards where they were like friends and then they kind of liked each other. And then they went to that whole, like, I don't know how to act around you. Weird. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. Everyone's different, but it just seems weird to me. They try talking and of course they fumble all over each other. She puts her face all up inside of her. But in this show, everyone's head's so big. Her heads are from her crotch to her neck. Her whole head fits the whole. It's just the way that it's drawn. It just looks funny. So her face is like her whole entire body. They fall down this tunnel and Hooty, like an absolute idiot, made like a bed of love and hearts and everything. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do never. Like, if people like to play matchmaker and they want to be like, oh, let's hook up my friends. You can help to an extent, but don't ever do some crazy ass crap like this where it's like, oh, they'll definitely fall in love if I do this. No, God, no, don't do that. But then Luz is overreacting, trying to like stop everything. And there's like a little poem about like, oh, you'll come out of the tunnel of love. And it's a full blown tunnel of love, just like in like the fair, like if you go to a county fair, they'll have like a little mini tunnel of love thing, like a little boat ride. And Luz is like, oh my God, no, look at Hooty. He's like, I'm doing it for you, girl. Puts him in the little like swan thing and is like playing like this love song. And it's Amity's like, oh, what's all this? But she kind of likes it because she likes how stupid and dorky Luz is. Like her spastic nature. And this is something that Luz could maybe think about, like think of doing. And Amity be like, oh, wow, that's so cute that she went through all the trouble. But she's like, oh, no, this is nothing. This is just stupid. But when she says that this is stupid, Amity thinks, oh, you being here with me is stupid. Like she misunderstood. You have to be careful in the way what you say and how you say it. And the way she said it so eminently of like, oh, this is dumb. She thought the situation of me and you sitting together in a tunnel of love is stupid. She meant it's stupid and dumb because I didn't want this to happen in this way. So she's trying to like, oh no, this is just Hooty being crazy. And it's playing all these stupid love songs and love notes. And it's like, it's awful. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. But then, that kind of hurts Amity because she sees Luz destroying everything. And it's almost like, oh, you rather destroy a romantic thing being with me than like you're not accepting me. It's weird, but seeing her act so against this made her think, oh, you just thought it was stupid that it had to do with me. Then, of course, Amity shuts off because she's like, fine, yeah, it was stupid. Me and you dating, yeah, that is a pretty stupid idea. Then Luz is like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. So, Hooty, you done ruined it. But then she tries to apologize. But of course, after you say something like, oh, me and you dating is stupid, and you not responding quickly enough, oh, it was just awful. So Hooty takes off and he's like, I'm getting out of this house. I'm leaving. All I do is ruin everything. And I think King has the best line in the show.
Hooty, calm down, you ding-dong.
Yeah, you ding-dong. Shut the hell up. Calm the hell down. So he's trying to like remove himself from the building, like permanently. So like tears himself out. It's kind of gross. You see like the organs and everything. Knocks King off the roof, but then Ida flies up there and catches him. And then King's like, Ida, is that you? And he's like, oh yeah, it's me. I'm fine. And he's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Amity and Luz get out of the freaking basement of love basement, and we see some of the house starts falling down because this whole time. Freaking Hooty's like trying to get himself out of the house, but he's destroying it as he's doing it. Big old rock falls and it's gonna land in Amity, and but they have magic. They could have saved themselves, but King jumps down and does a sonic scream and breaks the boulder. Okay, again, like they gave him like sonic scream powers, which is kind of weird. I don't know. Out of all the powers to give him, I didn't think that would be one of them. He's got super bark. Remember freaking oh my goodness, Bolt. He has super bark. I love it. But it made all the rocks break and there's like geodes in there. So it's all like shiny and everything. Like, oh, they're staring at each other. So that's kind of cool. He's like, whoa, I think I have powers. He's got to give him something, right? Instead of just being an irritating idiot. So Luz sees Ida and she's like, oh my goodness, I got questions. Good, look at you. I got questions. But it's like, calm down. You helped me. And everyone's like, yeah, Hooty, you helped me, but I didn't help Luz. And they're like, hey, Luz, whatever he did, we're just trying to do, say he did it so he can calm the hell down. She's like, well, wait a second. She goes over to Ida. He was trying to help me ask out Amity on a date. And they're like, oh, I do like how Ida's like, do you want to go on a date? Like, don't agree to something you don't want to do. Like, even if it's to make Hooty happy, don't do it just for that. Do it because it's what you want to do, which I thought was a really good message. You shouldn't date someone or go out with someone for somebody else. Like, oh, I'm going to make this person happy if I go on a date. It's just, no, this is your life. This is your heart. These are your feelings. You decide who you want to go out with. I thought that was a really cool. It's a very subtle, very quick line, but I thought it was awesome. It's like, and she kind of nods and says, yes, well, then go do it. And she's like, right here with all this crazy crap happening. She's like, come on, just go do it. Then Hooty's still causing a ruckus and hey, Amity, let me help you up. I've been wanting to ask you something for a long, long time, but and then of course they trying to work up the courage to like ask her out. But then Amity just bursts out going, do you want to go on a date with me? And then she's like, oh no, I wanted to say it. Then it's like, oh, let her say it. And then they hold hands. But here's the thing, you're 15. Yeah, you're going to feel like this a lot of times. And there's going to be times where you feel like this in the beginning. And then after a little while, you really don't like the person. But that's the human condition. So hopefully they can be good together. And of course it's a cartoon and it's going to be whatever. But I don't, when like you see someone's first date, like that just doesn't ever go into like something serious. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. How many people are in good, healthy relationships with the very first person they ever asked out? I mean, honestly, let's think about it. But whatever, that's nice that they got together, but it literally means nothing to the story because like I said, if this was a regular high school drama, they could date and everything would be fine. But you're literally from two different worlds. Luz has to go home, and it would be inappropriate of Amity to abandon her family and her brother and sister to go live with her girlfriend. She's only 15 or 15, 16 years old. If they were adults, you can leave whatever and be with together, but they're still just children. I think they're setting themselves up for heartbreak. If this was any other situation, it'd be so much better. But they got together and then everyone kind of like learned their stuff. And then King's like practicing blowing things up with his voice. Ida's able to kind of control the harpy version of herself with her. And like, I do like the fact that she's like, oh, she's taking her potions and everything. So it's like, is that the metaphor for taking your mental health medications? I think it is. It kind of is. Then we get this. This is, if they don't explain this, this is going to irritate the ever-living hell out of me until the series is over. They gloss over the fact that Amity just showed Luz how to get the information you want from the Echo Mouse. They don't show exactly what she did. She gave her some pointers, or he said she gave her some tips. What? The thing I've been complaining about for the last like 4 episodes since the stupid thing was announced, they explain it with the, oh yeah, she just showed her how, without actually showing us how. Oh my God, that's so freaking lame. But then I do like this line though. It's still actually probably the funniest line in the thing.
To promise never to help anyone ever again, but nevertheless, I'm a genius.
As long as I promise never to help anybody. So he's gonna go He's gonna go mail this letter. Then King's dad shows up, and again I expected something way more impressive than King with the beard. You know, am I the only one who was disappointed with the not King of the Monster versions of this guy? He's just like a guy. He's the freaking merchant salesman from freaking Resident Evil. He's Zer from Destiny. He's like, I like his voice. Hey, can you give this to King Clawthorn? It's very important. And then Hooty's like, oh my goodness, you think Hooty understood that was the dad? He's like, oh, look at this. Oh, and he just eats it. I hope that was junk mail. Oh my goodness. If King doesn't get his letter because Hooty was being a moron, I don't know, this guy. If that happens and he never gets the letter, I absolutely hate Hooty. I don't know. Again, a sloppy episode. It's fun that King got powers. It's super cool that Ida was able to kind of accept herself a little bit, accept this curse, accept that part of her life. And, you know, if blushy-faced teenage girls get you there, then I guess that's good too. But I just think the relationship doesn't work in the situation that they're in. Unless you're just, oh, let's just have some fun, but you're going to break someone's heart. You know, if that's what it is, and you just want to like, oh, I just need someone to hang out. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Even if there was someone I cared about, and if I was Luz and I, honest to God, truly loved Amity with all my heart and soul, you can't do that. You're only going to end in heartbreak and heartache, and unless you do a stupid freaking Star versus ending where they meld the worlds. Don't do that. That was awful. But yeah, overall, again, that's a 5 out of 10 episode. Trying to finish these all off before the new season starts up. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comments below. I do mini TikTok reviews. The link's in the description below. And I also, for this episode, I kind of live tweeted it as I was watching it. And then, of course, here's the thing, shippers. Watch everything I said. Do you honestly disagree with what I had to say? I know it makes your heart go all fluttery when you see 2 girls together. I just think that it would better suit a different kind of show. And people are, oh, it's important. I care about the characters. I don't care about things that happen outside the show or if that makes you feel any better. I just feel bad for Amity or Luz getting their heart broken because they're not going to be able to actually have a real relationship. Anyways, it's the least important part of the show because it isn't, with Bellows capturing witches and killing them and capturing talismans, a little more important than, the first girl I asked out. Am I wrong in thinking that? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to try to get through at least one more this week, and I think that will line me up perfectly. I will get back to Amphibia. It's just easier to do Owl House because there's only 1 episode per episode, and in Amphibia there's 2. So, yeah. Catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for the sub. Be sure to like, share it around, retweet them out, do all that kind of good stuff. It helps the algorithm. Thanks again, guys.
Oh, girl, this is a hot look.
That's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.